FM. Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
City News.
Hello, good evening. Welcome to Eyewitness News, coming to you live from our studios here at number 11, Dr. Martin Loop in Adabraka in Accra. My name is Salom Adunu. Tonight I'm here with
Akosia Oche.
Coming up over the next 90 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm happy to report that after the necessary consideration, the National Council of the party unanimously endorsed the presidential candidate's nomination of Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the vice presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party pursuant to our Constitution, Article 13(3).
MPP National Council confirms Matthew Opoku Prempeh as Bawumia's running mate for election 2024. What's next for the campaign, we ask. Also coming up, Chief Justice throws out Martin Amidu's petition seeking to remove the special prosecutor from office. She says the petition is unmeritorious. Still to come on Eyewitness News, NDC cautions Chief Justice and President Akufo-Addo on appointing more judges to the Supreme Court. Stay with 97.3 Citi FM for more on this and other stories on Eyewitness News. And in
business activity falls amid rapid price increases. We have more from S&P Global's latest report.
There is more business in the next 50 minutes. Eyewitness News is live across the country on all our affiliates and around the globe at citynewsroom.com. In the Upper West region, this is Tupani Radio 88.5 FM in Nadoli and Jirapa 96.1 FM. In the Upper East region, this is Recast 92.1 FM in Bongo Namu. Northern region, this is North Star Radio 92.1 in Tamale. And in the Northeast region, this is Nobia FM 98.1 in Naralugu. Also in the Western region, Beach 105.5 FM in Takrady and Sky Power 93.5 FM also in Takrady. In the Shanti region, Focus 94.3 FM on KNUST campus and also Orange 107.9 FM both in Kumasi. In the Volta region, Sela Radio 97.1 FM in Dabala, Holy 98.5 FM in Aflao, and in the Savannah region, Kasha 99.5 FM in Damongo. Your comments are welcome via our WhatsApp line 0549 986 996 0549 986 996. You can follow me on Twitter or X at Selom Adunu. The hashtag, as always, is City Newsroom. Akosia gives us our very first story.
Yes, let's start with the governing New Patriotic Party because its National Council has endorsed the decision by the flag bearer, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to pick Energy Minister Matthew Opoku Prempeh as his running mate for the upcoming 2024 general election. Or the National Council endorsed the decision after earlier meetings with the National Executive Council and also the National Steering Committee of the party. Well, Dr. Opoku Prempeh, popularly known as Napo, is also the Member of Parliament for Manhyia South and former Education Minister. He is General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia, highlighted the reasons for the confirmation of Dr. Opoku Prempeh.
The National Council of the New Patriotic Party, which is the second highest decision-making body of the party, met today, July 4, 2024, to consider nomination of Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh by His Excellency Dr. Muhammad Bawumia, the party's presidential candidate, as his running mate for the 2024 general election. The meeting, which ended a few minutes ago, did in fact consider the said nomination, which forms part of the constitutionally mandated processes for selecting the party's running mate as per Article 13(3) of the New Patriotic Party Constitution. For the avoidance of doubt, Article 13.3.1 reads as follows. The party's presidential candidate shall, in consultation with the National Council, nominate the vice presidential candidate. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, I'm happy to report that after the necessary consideration, the National Council of the party unanimously endorsed the presidential candidate's nomination of Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, Member of Parliament for Manhyia South and Energy Minister, as the vice presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party pursuant to our Constitution, Article 13.3. This significant milestone marks the completion of the party's presidential ticket for the 2024 general election, and therefore sets the stage for the party to fully engage the Ghanaian electorates comprehensively with our message of transformation. I wish to, at this juncture, say something little about our vice presidential candidate, focusing primarily on what he brings to the New Patriotic presidential ticket, since he is not a stranger to the body politics of our country. Honorable Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is a 56-year-old medical doctor, a devoted Christian, and a consummate politician. A product of Prempeh College and the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, both in Kumasi, as well as the Erasmus University in the Netherlands. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, as I indicated, is a medical doctor by training.
So you heard the National Secretary of the New Patriotic Party announcing to the public the confirmation of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as Dr. Bawumia's running mate for election 2024. Now let's speak to a senior campaign advisor to Dr. Bawumia and a close associate of the campaign as well, Samie Ewuku, who is also the parliamentary candidate for the Kwapim North constituency. Hello, good evening, sir. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Samie Ewuku. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Congratulations on finally arriving on Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as your candidate's running mate. What were the considerations that the National Council made before confirming the choice of Dr. Bawumia?
Good evening, and thank you for having me. Good evening to your cherished listeners as well. So today, the NPP took steps finally to complete the ticket, the presidential ticket for the December 7th general election. And as the General Secretary stated, the party was awaiting, first of all, the name of the nomination of the flag bearer in consultation with the National Council. The National Council of the party is the second highest decision-making body, and clothed with the power to take decisions, deliberate, approve or disapprove the running mate of the presidential candidate. I can also state on authority that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, for the last few months, has gone into deep consultations with the various stakeholders of the party. He's met almost every department of our party, consulted the National Council of Elders, consulted the national executives of the party, consulted the leadership of Parliament, consulted his boss, His Excellency the President, consulted His Excellency the former President, and consulted again the regional chairman of our party and various stakeholders of our party. Indeed, as he stated today at the National Council, the NPP, indeed, we have the men, we have the women. And almost all the people he considered were more than qualified, and I use his own words. But he needed to come to a decision point. To the decision point that he came, the criteria that he did set was the person's loyalty to the party, the person's loyalty to the government and the president, because he's the leader of our government and the leader of our administration. The person's also loyalty to the cause of the New Patriotic Party. The person should have a broad-based appeal within the party, because he also needs the party's buy-in and somebody who can also help him win the general election. And again, lastly, the person who can also help excite the base of the party's stronghold, which is the Ashanti region. With all these put on the table, and I quote him, he said he had other people as well who also met the criteria. But amongst them emerged Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, the one that he believed that with this partnership, with this combined pair, they should be able to deliver victory for the MPP. Again, he also paid glowing tribute to the president for the support he's received from him and the National Party from the time that he himself, some years ago, over 14, 15 years ago, when he was first made running mate. It was an emotional period for him, and very emotional, as he thanked his boss and thanked the leadership of the party and the members of the National Council. Today, Dr. Bawumia is the leader of the party. He's no longer the second person on the ballot, on the ticket. He is the main man to deliver victory. He called for support. He called for a rallying point for all of us to support him and his chosen running mate. So he spoke about the qualities of his running mates, which the General Secretary I just said a while ago read about. And then he asked for support for him. So almost every department then was given an opportunity. The Council of Elders had to also speak on the floor, represented by their national leader, that is the very venerable Honorable Hackman Owusu-Agyeman, also given the position of the Council of Elders in approval. The Ashanti Regional Chairman, who is the Dean of the Regional Chairman, also spoke on behalf of the Chairman, Caucus, to also give their endorsement. The President of the Republic also had to also speak on his own behalf and as leader of our government. Again, the chairperson of the MPP branch of USA, representing the diasporan community of our party, also spoke. The leader of the parliamentary group, the Honorable Alex Afenyo-Markin, also spoke. So afterwards, then there was no need to cast a ballot because it was unanimous. And the General Secretary then made a call as to all those who were in favor to also vote by hand, and it was a unanimous decision. And let me also say that Dr. Bawumia had also done extensive work on the ground by making sure that he also engaged the various stakeholders of the party. So it was more of a consensus meeting. Let me, on his behalf as well, and behalf of the campaign, congratulate Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh. We welcome him into the space of the bigger Bawumia and the MPP family. We also work hand in hand with him to make sure that he has he's comfortable also joining all of us to campaign for victory. We believe that what we have started will be a good complement. And as the next few days, we roll out an elaborate, intensive, and insightful campaign, he will also be able to contribute his quota for the victory of the MPP in December. So next week, Tuesday, the MPP will be performing two duties. Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh is a native of the Ashanti region. So we will be presenting him to the Ashanti Man Council and to His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu in Kumasi next week, Tuesday afternoon. And then from there, we'll proceed to outdoor him at the Jubilee Park in Kumasi. Then afterwards, Dr. Bawumia will hit the campaign trail up north to begin the constituency by constituency campaign, whilst his running mate also begins his tour within the country. So these are busy days ahead for the MPP, and the MPP is determined to win this December election. And I will repeat, we will beat the NDC on strategy, and they won't understand.
Very well. So interesting. You mentioned the fact that there was a broad-based appeal, and you needed somebody who excite the base. Speaking of which, we in the last few days had some dissenting views in respect of the choice. For example, the Honorable Andrew Akubi, who we understand is also a member of the National Council, he had said before that he did not approve of this choice and that he will make his voice heard at National Council when the candidate is presented to them. Was he at the meeting? Did anything like that come up? Did he speak, or he wasn't there at all?
I think we've moved on from there. First of all, he wasn't at National Council today. And again, let me also state that it's a democracy. What the Vice President said is a broad-based appeal. He didn't say 100% appeal. That's why it's a democracy. And then if once in the room, we've had 100% approval today, I did not hear of any dissenting view. In fact, we even made a call for if there's any dissenting view and nobody spoke against it. So we've moved on from that.
Very well, but
looking into the future.
Yes, very well. But we need to understand
and
the
again,
past.
The
so,
parliamentary group was represented by the leader
very well,
of the parliamentary.
Very well, and I understand he spoke and said a few good things.
So if indeed there was any dissenting amongst his group at this point, he would have aired it.
Very well. So speaking about Ashanti being the heartbeat of the party, we know that when the announcement was made, or when news broke that he was going to be the gentleman to partner Dr. Bawumia, there was a group also in the Ashanti region called the Patriotic Movement for Bawumia. They were also unhappy about this. You know about that, and what has happened to them since?
I haven't heard of this group before. Who is the leader of the group?
The leader of the group is a gentleman by name Paul Kwabena Yando, who presented a petition to the Ashanti Regional Communication. I mean, he presented a petition to the office of Bawumia's campaign in the region.
First of all, today, the National Council has taken a decision and they have accepted the choice of the presidential candidate. All we believe is that let all of us rally round. The NDC, among the National Council of the elders of their party or so, when Professor Jinan Opoku was presented, not everybody was in support, but they rallied round the flag, same as the MPP. I'm sure that if you put a ballot box there, even Dr. Bawumia did not get 100%. He got majority decision. Same as Dr. Matipoku Prempeh, I'm sure and convinced that if you put a ballot box there, you won't get 100%. That notwithstanding, our loyalty to the party dictates that when you abide by party decisions, and it's in Article 3 of our party's constitution, 3 and 4. So a decision has been made. And it behoves on all of us as members of the party to proceed accordingly.
Very well. Just a quick correction. Paul Kwabena Yando is actually the Ashanti Regional Communications Officer. The group I'm talking about was led by Ebenezer Nyamiche. So just to correct that. Yes.
I've been with Dr. Bawumia throughout the campaign.
Yes, I think your point about it not being 100% is clear.
Yeah.
So the other
personally, I won't say that I don't know them or I know them, but what I would say is it's a democracy.
Very well.
Majority. And again, this is not an election. The party's constitution is clear. The presidential candidate in consultation with the National Council. So the presidential candidate himself laid it bare on the criteria, the things he considered, and then presented to National Council. National Council is the second highest decision-making body. So once a decision is taken, we abide by it. But I'm excited about the fact that Dr. Bawumia himself, not under pressure, not under any siege, took his time to deliberate on the issues, did this broad-based consultation. It was a very difficult one for him, let me be very honest. A very difficult decision for him because almost each and every one was qualified, those that he was considering. And there were times that I could see from the eyes of my boss that it's a difficult call. But a time comes when the decision will have to be made. He made that choice, he made that decision. And all those of us around him, we assured him of our unalloyed support to see him through these difficult times.
All right, very well. So, of course, we saw Dr. Bawumia in 2012, of course, 2008, 2012, and 2016. And in 2012 and 2016, he had a specific role to play on the campaign. He took on the economy. Is there any such plan for Dr. Matipoku Prempeh? What specific role will he be playing in the campaign? Do you know? Will you want to share that now?
No, I wouldn't like to share that. But I can tell you that he has a specific role that he's going to play.
Very well.
But I'm not going to share that.
And we know it's a contest. Just when his name was mentioned sometime last week, we began seeing some short clips of things he had said in the past, etc., which people deemed unpalatable. Have these things come to your notice, and how do you hope to deal with them?
You want to play tips? We have several examples of various candidates, including the opposition leader. So it's part of the politics. And I don't think you expect the NDC to hold a party in honor of Dr. Matipoku Prempeh. They definitely will have to also come up with things that, with all respect, will be to also attack his integrity, his personality, and him joining the ticket. But let me start by saying he's a distinguished personality. He will make a great compliment to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And the truth of the matter is, it's an election between John Dramani Mahama and Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Professor, Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, Doctor, will be playing complementary roles to their various bosses. You have to put their two bosses on the scale. Their record of achievement, both have been vice presidents before, and one has been president. When both were vice presidents, what were their contributions to the nation's development? Innovation, initiative, and driving the Ghanaian society, its economy, and all the things that comes to play. What were they able to introduce? Dr. Bawumia has introduced in excess of 32 new things and championed them to perfection. So Mr. Mahama also has to tell the Ghanaian when he was vice president, what he was able to do. God being so good, he became president, so we also saw what he was able to do. Unfortunately, the Ghanaian people took him out and said that his performance was unsatisfactory. Dr. Bawumia has not been president before, and so I believe that if there is anything to judge, he presents us with a unique opportunity to also see what he can offer. A vote for Mr. Mahama means that it's a retirement package. He's not coming back to seek your mandate. It's straight away a honeymoon vote. A vote for Dr. Bawumia means that he must justify and vindicate the Ghanaian people's vote for him to come back if he wants to seek another term. So all these things are now going to be rolled out in the coming days. This election is not just about NPP and DC. No, this election is about what the two candidates, the two northern candidates, Dr. Bawumia and Mr. Mahama brings to the table and what they are offering the Ghanaian people, the cocktail of things that they are offering for all of us to take an informed decision and position on it.
Very well. So what's next for Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh now? He's Minister for Energy, he's parliamentary candidate as well for Manhyia South. What happens from here? Resign from both positions, or he will carry on with that of the ministry role?
The party will definitely, you can't be a vice presidential candidate and be a member of parliament. So I'm sure definitely the party will have to take a decision at a point, and I'm sure the decision is going to be in some few days' time. My understanding is that the party will take steps once he's been accepted now by the National Council. The party must take steps to also roll out a plan to fill the gap. On the issue of him being energy minister, Article 58, Article 59 says that all those who are appointed, they are performing their roles at the behest of the president. And I think that so far, he's shown that he can chew gum and walk at the same time. So unless at any point in time, you think that the one is suffering, that's when you can take it. I'm a parliamentary candidate, and I'm also the Director General of the National Lottery. The president in 2020 was a candidate himself and running for office again, and also a sitting president. The vice president is vice president, sitting vice president, and also a candidate in the election. Mr. Mahama, when he was there, was the sitting president and also running as a candidate. So we'll look at the dynamics.
So for now, you can't say for sure that Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh will resign as energy minister. You can't say that for sure.
The power to appoint and disappoint is in the hands of the president.
But he also has the choice to resign on his own to concentrate on the campaign.
These are decisions that will be taken as we move along the line.
Very well. Thank you so much, Samir Wuku, a senior member of the Bawumia campaign team, speaking to us on the party's confirmation of Dr. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh as running mate to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia earlier today. Let's stay on the matter and speak to Professor Samuel Edujemf, who is a political historian from the KNUST. Hello, Prof. Welcome to Eyewitness News. Matthew Opoku-Prempeh on the ticket, completing the MPP ticket. What does this mean?
Good evening, my brother. It means a lot. It means that the flag bearer of the MPP has been able to reflect to at least sift and filter to ascertain the specific contribution such an individual is likely to make or add to the campaign of the NPP. And potentially, when he wins elections, this individual would become the vice president and he would be able to have a certain telepathy with him. And so fundamentally it shows that he's the best choice for him out of the lot that were put in the public domain. It also means that he's also not there for the sake of it and he has something specific to contribute. And in many respects, he would would have to roll his sleeves and push himself up to give the MPP the type of victory and also make sure that they are able to leverage, among other things, with his own capacity and also expertise. I can reflect to say that if he is the best shot for the MPP, then he's going to be able to win floating voters, as they have said in many quarters, that he'll be able to win the floating voters in Asante for them. He'll be able to at least rally the ranks of the party in Asante for them to be able to come to the polls. And thirdly, he'll be able to offer the kind of strategy that would inure to the benefit of the entire campaign of the NPP. I hope that if you juxtapose his effort with that of the NDC and with that of the running mate of the NDC and the other gender perspective of the discussion, as we move forward, he may be able to at least come to the table with some degree of support that is more quantifiable and also would inure to the benefit of the collective good of the MPP.
I see. Well, what will be your reflection on the difference in temperaments between these two gentlemen?
It's a wild, if you like, argument in many respects. And I push back on those who think that these two gentlemen are friends. I do not, in my contemplation, think that they are friends. I think that the temperament of the flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, is such that he's able to go through almost 8 years of being pushed to the periphery, i.e. because of his own temperament and his ability to meet the line to hope that one day he will become the flag bearer. So with such temperament, he may be able to, if you like, embrace the good, the bad, and the not so good personality of a running mate that seemed to be more, if you like, vociferous, and in many respects, it's all out there, and sometimes people assume that he's bossy, he's proud, and all that. But I do not think that the two gentlemen have a similar temperament. I do not think that they are friends, but I think that the flag bearer of the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, has the temperament to be able to work with it. Right.
I see. But what role do you foresee, specific role do you foresee Matthew Opoku Prempeh playing in this campaign? As I did ask my earlier guest, in the earlier campaign Dr. Bawumia was engaging with President Akufo-Addo, we saw him take on the economy. Indeed, the president said he brought him in because of the economy. He was the guy to deal with the economy. Whether he's delivered on that or not is yet to be seen, or the jury is still out. What specific role do you think that Matthew Opoku Prempeh will be assigned from where you sit?
I am of the view that he will be at the forefront of the campaign. In areas, for example, beyond Asante, in areas where he's perceived to be unpopular, he may be thrown out there to present his new self, to get the attention of those masses in those areas who may not. Can you hear me?
Yes, you're live and clear. Yes.
Okay, so there are. It's said that beyond Asante, in the Volta region and other areas, some people are not too keen to want to see this individual as their vice president. So this is the time they would want to showcase him in these territories. And they would want Ghana to see the best of him on the campaign platform. And so I believe that he will be at the central stage of the campaign. He will be out there engaging the public, especially in areas beyond Asante, where it is perceived that he may not be able to garner support for the MPP. The second bit of it is that I think that if he's able to get his props right, the political handlers to be able to prep him on the central stage as he moves across the regions of this country, he has the charisma to be able to turn things around. And so let's hope and believe that the MPP will not keep him behind the stage, but they will put him at the center of the stage. Yes, he is not an economist, he's not a political scientist, but at least he's a medical doctor. He served in several capacity in the education sector, he served in the health sector, he served in the energy sector, and different sectors. He comes with some degree of experience and some degree of ebullience. Let's believe that he can be able to articulate his thoughts with a sense of political correctness around this time, and to ensure that he contributes holistically in terms of the broader campaign of the MPP. Right.
Well, what would be your advice to him? People think that when he's pushed to the wall, he makes comments which are not very presidential. I mean, and a few examples. I mean, the recent comment on Dumso, the comment on the sea defense wall in Volta region, and he leading a demonstration in Ashanti if that was to happen, and a few other ones. We've seen him in pictures or videos in Parliament, making gestures which people think are not very presidential, etc. What would be your advice to him? Because obviously he will be pushed to the wall in interviews, in interactions with people, etc.
Yes, I am of the view that in terms of public engagement, and i.e. when he's supposed to deliver a speech or on a campaign platform, I would suggest that he should not speak extempore, and further afield, he should not speak off the cuff. I am of the view that the political handlers, the political marketers and experts in speech, and those who are going to write speeches for him, must present him with a lower tone, because he has a strong personality and charisma in that blend where he's able to communicate with maybe a passive voice, and in a way to also be quite humane in many respects when they write his speech for him. So his speech should have a tone that is polite, respectful, cuts across, and has a certain soberliness within the sphere. The second bit of it is that grapevine conversation here and there, and also public conversation, suggests that he is not necessarily a friend of the media. I may push back on that, because that might be unfair to him, but I think that he should begin to position himself as an individual who is a friend of the media and has respect for the media. With that in mind, it doesn't matter who sits before him to pose questions at him, he would be able to reflect, and even when he has to push back on a question he doesn't like or he was not expecting, he would use a tone, have a posture, and come out in a certain sense of reflection, because it is Ghanaians who want to hear him. The media is the fourth estate of the realm. The media is supposed to quiz him, ask critical questions about what his government has done and what himself and his flag bearer are able to contribute. The third leg of it is that if he's put on the platform to have a debate, right, with the running mate of the NDC presidential candidate, remember that candidate is a linguist. She's done that most of her lifetime. She has a certain flair in using language to his advantage, and he should not take that for granted. And so when you're on the stage, it is not how much you are able to shout and hit the table with your fist and speak with a certain overt bravado. It is your ability to cut across and to be seen as an individual who has a sense of rapport with the media and with the general public. And that props must be done by the political handlers or the experts in the NPP.
Very well.
They should not just let him go. He should also listen to them and understand that the days of himself are over. It is the days where the public expects much more from him.
Very well. Thank you very much, Professor Samodu Jemfi, political historian from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Edmund from B Hill says, hello, Salam. Is he saying that they chose Napo on ethnic or tribal reasons? Zalex Dwayne in London says, the value is the same. Daniel Akpalio from Sandema says both Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh have credibility issues as far as proper governance is concerned. Let's now go to Manhyia, which is where Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is member of parliament. That is his base, really. And our correspondent, Hafiz Tijani, is in the middle of Manhyia, and he joins us with some update. Hello, good evening, Hafiz. Welcome to Eyewitness News. The town or the area or the town really should be excited by now because indeed their MP has been confirmed as running mate to Bawumia. He's on his way, possibly becoming a vice president.
Exactly, Salom. So this matter has taken center stage. So even before the official announcement by the leadership of the New Patriotic Party members from the constituency and also even outside the constituency, nearby constituencies like the Manhyia South constituency, Manhyia North constituency, the Subin constituency, the Bantima constituency, party members had gathered at the Manhyia South constituency party's office, and they were glued to the TV set waiting for the announcement by the General Secretary of the MPP for Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh to be announced or to be officially confirmed as the running mate for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia going into the 2024 general election. So shortly after the announcement was done, the jubilation started, and there was Jama here at the frontage of the party's office, and the streets of Manhyia or Ashtown in the Manhyia South constituency. A lot of people were excited. They were talking about this issue. Some were having the expectations. They said they were expecting that the party is going to choose, or Dr. Bawumia was going to choose Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the running mate going into the 2024 general election, and they were just waiting for the official confirmation from the leadership of the party. That is the official process, and they are happy. So let me engage with one person here to tell us about the excitement in the constituency. So since morning, people were gathering here at the party's office. You're expecting the party to name Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh as the running mate to your party's flag bearer going to the election. How's it feeling like for party members?
As I have already stated on several radio platforms, we are very happy to welcome this particular information because we know that Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh is competent enough to be the running mate of Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. We were expectant of that. We, the constituents of Manhyia South constituency, the executive, we are expectant of that. So we are very happy to receive this information.
What does it mean to the party's mantra of breaking the eight?
It adds a lot to it because for us, we know the personality of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. He is a unifier.
All right, I think we lost Hafiz. He was speaking to some people at Manhyia, which is the constituency of Matthew Opoku Prempeh. Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. We'll take a short break, return, and give you more. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Are you a builder, contractor, or homeowner with a passion for quality? Look no further. At Yale, we pride ourselves in trusted security and quality hardware for doors. Visit our showroom on 11th Lane Street in Accra, Ghana, and discover the world of Yale door hardware handles and locks. At Yale, we understand your need for security and the desire for elegance. Our products not only protect your loved ones, but also add a touch of sophistication to your home or business. Whether you're renovating your space or crafting a new masterpiece, Yale is your trusted partner with a history of 180 years of innovation. Come on down to Yale today. Experience the perfect blend of security and style with Yale. Yale, where security meets style.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. At what time will you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same right. It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. better. And what they bust my mind self be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open there.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a feel the gobe too small.
Go.
Yo, Pana. Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel. Say Excellium. Choose Excellium. Choose quality.
When you want to eat, just Momo it. Tired of the long queues in the supermarket? Pay with Momo. When you really want that beautiful new blouse, just Momo it. When you want to get a trim and get fresh to impress you know who, just Momo it. When you need to pay your utility bills and domestic staff, Shani Momo. When you want to send love to the family back home, send some Momo. Join the millions of MTN Momo users all over Ghana and live life the brighter way. So just Momo it. MTN.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Now, the Chief Justice, Gertrude Tokonu, has dismissed a petition seeking to remove Kisei Jabin, the special prosecutor, from office. In a letter dated 30th April 2024, Martin Amidu requested President Akufo-Addo to dismiss Kisei Jabin, and the petition was subsequently forwarded to Chief Justice Tokonu on May 6, 2024. Martin Amidu, the former special prosecutor, alleged malfeasance in his petition, including procurement breaches in the purchase of vehicles for the OSP, amongst others, which he claimed warranted the removal of Kisei Jabin from office. However, the Chief Justice found the petition to be lacking in merit, leading to its dismissal. We'll bring you more on this in the bulletin.
Well, speaking about the Chief Justice, the National Democratic Congress says her decision to recommend judges for appointment to the Supreme Court bench is unconstitutional. The Chief Justice, Her Ladyship Gertrude Tokonu, recently requested President Akufo-Addo to nominate 5 justices to the Supreme Court to manage the high number of cases. Or during a press conference in Accra today, the NDC accused the Chief Justice and President Akufo-Addo of relying on these judges to cover government wrongdoings and advance their interests. NDC General Secretary Fifi Fiavikwiti addressed the press a while ago.
Members of the Judicial Council insisted that the next government be given the opportunity to consider the argument for the expansion in the number of Supreme Court justices, if at all necessary. Ladies and gentlemen, we have in our possession a letter signed by the President of the Ghana Bar Association, Yao Achampong Boafo Esquire, dated 29th April 2024, and addressed to President Akufo-Addo. In this letter, the Ghana Bar Association objected to the clandestine approach by President Akufo-Addo to appoint 5 additional judges to Ghana's Supreme Court, thereby increasing the number of judges on the Supreme Court to 20. President Akufo-Addo, with the connivance of the Chief Justice, had sought to hide his attempt to further pack the Supreme Court under the guise of a proposal for a minimum ceiling of 20 judges on Ghana's Supreme Court bench. The GBA's disagreement, which we find well-grounded and well-reasoned, is premised on the fact that the present proposal should have come in the form of a proposed amendment of Article 128(1) of the 1992 Constitution to set a new ceiling for the number of judges on the Supreme Court, which currently consists of the Chief Justice and a minimum of 9 other justices. The GBA argued forcefully that the request by President Akufo-Addo and Chief Justice Gertrude Tokonu to increase the minimum number of justices of the Supreme Court to 20 will lead to the circumvention of the required constitutional amendment, hence their rejection of same. The GBA proposed a review of the conventional number of justices of the Supreme Court every 10 years, calling for broader consultations with other key stakeholders such as the Council of State and Parliament. From the foregoing, it is clear that the Chief Justice sought to put forward the names of these judges as though they were being proposed by the Attorney General on behalf of President Akufo-Addo. We are completely shocked and scandalized by the extent to which the Honorable Chief Justice was prepared to consciously sidestep the due process and even breach the Constitution just to please the President and aid him to execute his unholy agenda to pack the Supreme Court. It is for good reason that Article 144(2) of the 1992 Constitution enjoins the President to make such appointments to the Supreme Court on the advice of the Judicial Council in consultation with the Council of State and subject to parliamentary approval. In the wisdom of the framers of the Constitution, this consultative process is designed to protect the independence of the judiciary. Contrary to this constitutional imperative, the Chief Justice singularly constituted herself into the Judicial Council and unilaterally acted in its name and on its behalf. By electing to write to President Akufo-Addo, requesting for this appointment and seeking a post-facto ratification from the Judicial Council, the Chief Justice sought to turn the Council into a mere rubber stamp. Nowhere in the Constitution is the Chief Justice named as the one to recommend persons to the President for appointment to the Supreme Court. We wish to state without any equivocation that the Chief Justice's letter is illegal and of no effect. Her actions have completely turned the due process on its head and compromised her independence as the head of the judiciary. We are concerned about a worrying pattern which irresistibly suggests that the President is appointing only loyalists of his party to this court to have control of the judiciary and escape post-regime accountability. It is also very clear that the President is packing the courts ahead of the impending presidential and parliamentary elections with judges who are sympathetic to his party. Such deliberate politicization and bastardization of independent institutions of state, including the judiciary, will negatively impact the peace and stability of our country. It is trite knowledge that without a fair and impartial judiciary, democracy and constitutionalism will suffer. That is why this must be an issue of huge national concern, as it adds to the many other issues that already pose big threats to the peace and stability of our democracy. Already, President Akufo-Addo has appointed as many as 15 judges to the same Supreme Court since 2017.
That was General Secretary of the NDC, Fiavi Kweti. Now, a political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Dr. Mohammed Abbas, says plans by independent presidential hopeful Alan Trematin to form a unity government voted for in the December polls is not practical. All the presidential candidates for the Alliance for Revolutionary Change in an interview on the City Breakfast Show disclosed that half of his ministers will be New Patriotic Party and National Democratic Congress members of Parliament, with their selection based on merit. But speaking to City News, Dr. Abbas challenged the feasibility of the idea, questioning the criteria for the selection.
I think this is a wild dream. I don't see its feasibility, something that can be practical. Because talking about coalition government, it must be backed by certain, if you like, rules, regulations. If you like, it must have an institutional basis. And that is the fundamental thing. You can't just do anything, just anything without it having an institutional basis. And when we talk of institution, here we are talking about certain well-defined rules and regulations which is not just brought about by only one person, but by a group. And for that matter, well orchestrated with a defined objective and a clearly defined path or ways of achieving it. Well, what is the criteria for the determination of that merit? On what basis is the advertisement for recruitment of the competent people into his government going to be?
That was Mohammed Abbas, a political science lecturer at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology.
Eyewitness News on 97.3 Citi FM. Some of your messages that you've been sending to us say, this one from Citizen Thomas at Upper East says, congratulations to Dr. Napo on his nomination as running mate to our great party, the MPP. Well-deserved recognition of his tireless dedication and efforts to the party's values. His leadership and expertise will undoubtedly continue to inspire and motivate the party faithful. We wish him all the best in his new role and look forward to his continued contributions to the party's success. Jones Adoboy in La says, good evening, Salom. Even before he is finally declared as a running mate, the baggage surrounding him is enough to send him to opposition. Napo's nomination is dead on arrival. Very arrogant and disrespectful, you say. Posterity is the best judge. Ghanaians are not angry enough, you say. Yao in Achimota says, congratulations to Napo for catching the eye of the vice president. I wish them well in the upcoming election. Baba Chairman in Tamale says, as far as history is concerned, the MPP has never chosen a running mate without dissent. So all those who show their disapproval of the choice have the right to do so. But majority, they say, will always carry the day. In Ketia, Suma in Ahinkro, German North constituency says, Salom, Baumia and Napo won't make any difference. They are both duplicates of President Akufo-Addo. They have failed woefully, and Ghanaians won't make that mistake by retaining them. Hashtag John and John, Jane and John and Jane for 2024. Up next is City Business News. Don't go away.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Oh, jump on now.
Go. Google me. Now, what time when you come back where I don't hear the sound of your car? Why you buy new car?
No, I not change my car. It be the same, right? It be the fuel way I change. Way one shouts it. Ever since I started using the all-new Excellium Premium Fuel, fortified with 3-in-1 action. Oh, Joe, now my car they run like electric car. No, it's so.
This is the type of fuel where they want to. Because now engine they cost. Where they want for way if I buy it, it go protect my engine. And with the small way I buy, I go drive, sir.
Absolutely. It's like strapping a turbocharger to your engine and giving it a protector. And what they bust my mind, Seth, be the 3-in-1 action, no? Excellium, they prevent up to 99% of deposit. It be anti-wear, some be anti-corrosion. Won't pay when I open them.
Hey, so where can I find this magical fuel?
Just head over to any Total Energy service station and your car will thank you.
Hey, then make a finish my gobe fast, then rush go Total Energies. My friend, but why your hand my gobe inside?
I give you info. Make a fill the gobe too small.
Go.
Excellium is designed to protect your car engine, decrease fuel consumption, and lower CO2 emissions. Don't say fuel, say Excellium. Choose Excellium, choose quality.
Hey, today. I can't wait to watch my favorite sport on my newest NASCO television. Charlie, the view be clear, Papa. HD quality you can trust.
Ever since Kwame became a star with NASCO, if not football, then is chilling with his friends with some ice chilled drink from NASCO's refrigerator because it chills so well.
No wonder his friends can't resist but come to watch their games here. I think they like the cool breeze with NASCO air condition.
NASCO's washing machine and gas cooker makes home lovely.
Go! It's always fun with NASCO home appliances. Enjoying the football you love and all other NASCO products like the adorable NASCO Ion, NASCO Microwave, and NASCO Blender. Visit all our EGL showrooms nationwide and grab yours now. Offer online. NASCO delivery is fast and swift. Just a call away. Make the football viewing experience memorable with NASCO home appliances. NASCO, bring home happiness.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/Citi97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/Citi973, and Instagram at instagram.com/Citi973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Get the details. Every significant financial transaction, every market movement, and all the policies that affect your business. City Business News. Be informed.
Time now for Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Akosia Ochi. The details now. Worsening business conditions have caused Ghana to drop in the world's Purchasing Managers Index. The country fell to 49.7 from 51.6 in the first 6 months of the year 2024. All this is according to the latest ranking by rating agency Standard & Poor's Global. There's more on the following News Desk report.
According to the report, high inflation was a major concern for businesses in June 2024 and was largely responsible for the downturn at the end of the second quarter. Additionally, the rate of increase in purchase prices reached a 19-month high, rising for the 5th consecutive month. Respondents attributed this rise mainly to the cedi weakening against the US dollar. Employee costs also rose in June 2024 as companies supported their workers amidst higher living expenses. To counter rising costs, companies significantly raised their own prices. This led to the fastest increase in output prices since November 2022, with 34% of respondents raising their prices. Inflationary pressures reduced demand in June 2024, with new orders remaining flat after 4 months of growth. However, some firms noted that customers accepted price hikes and continued placing orders. S&P Global mentioned that rising prices affected business activity, which slightly decreased for the first time in 4 months. Inflation also influenced firms' own purchasing decisions. On the other hand, business confidence improved in June 2024 due to the hopes for better economic conditions in the year ahead. However, confidence in the future output depended on stable exchange rates and prices.
That was the news desk report by Emmanuel Opong of the Citi Business Desk. Well, there will be heightened congestion in the capital city, Accra, by 2030 due to significant population growth. Well, the latest forecast for 2021 to 2050 from the Ghana Statistical Service highlights a notable increase in population across the Greater Accra region. But how will this affect socio-economic activity and the livelihoods of residents in the region? Here's more.
As of 2024, Ghana's total population exceeds 33 million, up from 30.8 million in 2021. Greater Accra and Ashanti regions are each projected to grow beyond 7.5 million people by 2050. The Greater Accra region in particular is expected to house a growing number of school-aged children, projected to reach 2.96 million by 2030. Additionally, the youth population aged 15 to 24 years is set to expand by almost twice its size. Deputy Government Statistician Dr. Faustina Frimpong is cautioning government to intervene in the exponential population growth in the Greater Accra region.
When you look at this, between 1960 and 2010, or let me say 2020, Ashanti region was the leading in terms of population size. But Greater Accra, from 2021, 20 crossed up and then 2021 took over and is taking up the speed. And so if you look at this, then your population density is not going to reduce anyway because you know your land is fixed. But you're adding more people, so it means there's going to be pressure on the land in Greater Accra here. By Greater Accra took over from 2021, and we are saying that it is only Greater Accra and Ashanti that will cross the 7.5 million region on its own in terms of population.
Deputy Government Statistician Dr. Faustina Frimpong, ending that report by Edna Agnes Boache. Away from that, government's quest to make the country a digitalization-driven economy has moved to another giant stage. Well, this follows Cabinet's approval of the digital economy policy, which is aimed and among a raft of measures to stimulate socio-economic development. The policy, which is hinged on 5 pillars: digital government, data and emerging technologies, digital skills, universal access and connectivity, and digital entrepreneurship, is also expected to create employment opportunities in the tech space. Deputy Minister of Communications and Digitization, Chelsea Champon, says government will continue to leverage on technology to spur inclusive growth.
The ministry is championing government's digital agenda to ensure that Ghana participates fully in this fourth industrial revolution. Cabinet has recently approved the digital economy policy with 5 prioritized thematic areas to enable the ministry to track the digital journey in Ghana. These areas are universal access and connectivity, digital government, digital skills, data and emerging technologies, digital entrepreneurship.
Charles Champon is Deputy Minister of Communications and Digitalization. Now, the Electricity Company of Ghana has fully complied with the cash waterfall mechanism for the second time, covering the payments for April 2024. Well, this marks the second time it has fully complied with mechanism after it did in March 2024. Well, this was contained in the latest validation report by the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PURC. The following report has more.
According to the report, ECG garnered total revenue of about 832 million Ghana cedis for April 2024, which was allocated to settle invoices from February 2024. Of this revenue, ECG disbursed about 595 million Ghana cedis to 6 independent power producers and the West African Gas Pipeline Company. This payment represents a 71% of ECG's total revenue for the month, up from 62% in the previous month. The remaining 207 million Ghana cedis after accounting for payment to the IPPs and statutory obligations was distributed among Level B beneficiaries. These beneficiaries include state-owned enterprises such as the Volta River Authority, Bui Power Authority, Ghana National Gas Company, regulators, some generators, and ECG itself. Notably, for the second time since the implementation of the revised CWM, ECG fully compensated all Level B beneficiaries in March 2024. This marks a significant departure from its previous record of incomplete payment, and in some instances, no payment at all to these entities. However, the Ministry of Finance, which is obligated to cover any shortfalls, has not fulfilled this responsibility since August 2023. The shortfall for March 2024 stands at 215 million Ghana cedis. PURC is currently in discussions with the ministry to ensure these obligations are met.
That was a news desk report by the Citi Business Desk. Well, that's how we wrap up today's edition of Citi Business News on Eyewitness News. My name is Akusia Ochidu. Stay with us. Up next is Point Blank.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Attention, facility management professionals. Get ready for the event of the year, the IFMA Global Africa Conference in Ghana, August 1st and 2nd at the UPSA Auditorium, hosted by the International Facility Management Association's Ghana chapter. This is your chance to meet the world's top FM experts, thought leaders, and innovators. Immerse yourself in groundbreaking keynotes, interactive panels, hands-on workshops, and unmatched networking sessions. Explore the future of facility management in Africa's booming built environments. Don't miss out on the epic gathering of minds and ideas. The IFMA Global Africa Conference, August 1st and 2nd at the UPSA Auditorium. Be there. Proudly sponsored by Fides Group. To register or to sponsor, please call 0558 368 544.
One of the best decisions you can possibly make at the start of your day is to tune in to the Citi Breakfast Show. Insightful, intriguing, intelligent, and informative. The Citi Breakfast Show offers an attractive alternative to the noisy mishmash of morning radio. Tune in to the Citi Breakfast Show for passionate discussions on issues that matter and enjoy interviews where duty bearers and decision makers have their feet held to the fire. The Citi Breakfast Show airs from 6:30 a.m. to 10 a.m. every Monday to Friday, only on 97.3 Citi FM.
Are you feeling tired after a hard day's work? Have you lost your appetite even for your favorite dish? Viral Blood Tonic is a nutritionally balanced, pleasant-tasting tonic fortified with iron and vitamins to boost your appetite and energy levels for high performance. Viral Blood Tonic, easy to take and good for the whole family. Viral from Danex Iting Starwin PLC. If symptoms persist after 48 hours, consult a physician. This advert is FDA approved.
Let your voice be heard on Eyewitness News on Facebook at facebook.com/City97.3, Twitter at twitter.com/City973, and Instagram at instagram.com/City973 with the hashtag Eyewitness News.
Eyewitness News. Be there as it happens.
Four minutes to the top of the hour. My name is Salom Adonu. This is Point Blank on Eyewitness News. Tonight on Point Blank, we continue the discussion on the MPP, its running mate, and matters arising. My guest tonight is spokesperson for the Vice President and of course flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, Dr. Gideon Boaku, also parliamentary candidate for the Tano North constituency. Honorable, welcome to Point Blank on Eyewitness News.
Thank you for having me. I'm not yet an honorable.
No, I mean in Ghana, once somebody's a big man, we call the person honorable, whatever that means, though. But you're an honorable man, I guess. So it's been quite a tall order for your candidate Bawumia, given a number of people he had to look through, and eventually, sometime last week, we heard that he had settled on Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh. It's not as if it was surprising though, because quite a number of people knew that it was going to go that direction, but it came officially. Can you take us through the processes that he went through in his mind, in his interactions with you, before arriving on this particular choice?
Well, if you ask of processes, I may know the processes as stipulated in the constitution of the party. Of course, the selection is the prerogative of the presidential candidate, in this case, Vice President Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. And naturally, as human, he may seek to consult people. And so I was privy to some aspects of that consultation and the discussions, sometimes informal, sometimes he may test your mind without letting you know. He's testing you on who he's planning to select as the running mate. So all those formal, informal engagements and processes have gone on. And what he did today is something that the party's constitution enjoins him to do. That, yes, he has that first right to come up with the name or names of persons that he wants to select as the running mate, but to actualize that decision, he has to present the name to the National Council, or present names to the National Council for the National Council to decide together with him. In fact, as per the writings, the letters in the Constitution, it is his choice in consultation with the National Council of the party. This is an exercise that ideally should have been done last year, somewhere in November, because the party constitution provides a certain time frame for the selection of the running mate and approval when the party is in opposition, and a different time frame for when the party is in government. In this case, the party is in government, but if you recall, the vice president himself was elected November 4th last year. So going ahead to select a running mate within that same month, we felt was a bit of a rash decision if he had done so. And therefore, he needed that latitude of time to be able to engage properly and put his searching rod and compass well in order to come up with a credible person, in order to come up with a candidate who will be a perfect complement to the ticket. And that is what has been done today. And once he presented to National Council today, as was given by the General Secretary in his presser, there was a unanimous acceptance of the candidacy or the selection of Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh, the MP for Manhyia South constituency and the Minister for Energy.
So there were quite a number of people. What were the specifics he was looking for, and what actually tipped it in favor of Napo?
Well, in this case, one may have to look at a broader scope of attributes to expect in a potential running mate. I may not be able to say with exactitude what the Vice President was looking for, but I can judge from his previous interviews that he had conducted, especially the ones that he did with African Watch. He mentioned about 5 attributes. He talked about trust. He talked about loyalty. He talked about competence. He talked about hard work and compatibility. These may not be the finality of the attributes that he may want to see in his running mate. But what is important is that we should remember the Vice President is a politician who is seeking for presidential votes. And so what matters to the politician, more importantly, is the votes.
The votes, yeah.
So whoever he is bringing on board
should be able to bring the votes.
Should be able to bring the votes to augment what in his natural capacity he'll be able to draw in order to be able to win the elections. If you don't win the elections and you have a trusted or loyal, running mate, it's of no significance, very useless. So I think at the back of his mind also, he needed that candidate who will be able to bring in votes and also energize the base of the party in order to consolidate the base of the party. Because when you are in your second term and you want to creep onto or into a third term, you really have to work hard and you really have to do something first to consolidate your gain, your base, and then go and look out for some outside to add on to what you have. And I think Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh fits that position and that responsibility. And so be able to galvanize the support, energize the base, give hope to the despondent, party person and those who are all disgruntled, give them reason why they have to keep on working for the party, and also how we can enter into the floating voters basket to ensure.
So as somebody who works with him very closely, at what point in the whole process did it become clear to you yourself that this was the direction my boss was taking?
Well, I wish I don't answer that question because there are things I know, but also because of the competing interests. And of course, if you were interested and you came to me, I would tell you I have no idea. So if I come back today to say I knew it 5 months, 6 months ago, it's like I lied to you. But the obvious thing is that, of course, we work closely with the Vice President. So there are things even if we are not told directly, we see. And so it's obvious that some of us had a wind of who will be the running mate before maybe the general public got to know. That's how I will put it.
So how does he hope to deploy him? We saw him deployed as the economic whiz kid in the 2012-2016 election, which he did expertly. How is he hoping to deploy Matthew Opoku Prempeh?
Leave that to the campaign team to decide.
Because we're just interested. We just want to have a sense of what it is.
He's now been selected and nominated. Let's give him today. And then maybe from tomorrow, the other issues will unfold, and then we know how he's going to be deployed.
I see. You mentioned the fact that seeking to do a third term is a very tall order. That is the case. Many think that your government hasn't really delivered the economic question very well. I know some of you would disagree, but that appears to be the generality of views, on the streets. That if indeed we were to repeat President Kufuor's mantra of Shwa Sitrim Net to Abapa, it would be difficult for the NPP to win this election. How is Dr. Bawumia aware of this difficulty, and how is he hoping to surmount that?
I mean, there are always difficulties, and there have always been difficulties. And I think as leaders, we have to admit that indeed all fingers on the hand are not the same. And also, at any point in time, we have to appreciate the fact that within the social structure, there are some who will be affected heavily by whatever wind that is blowing. That's an acceptable fact. What is important, especially when you get into the political arena, is to let people appreciate the fact that you know the times of the season and that you know that all is not rosy for everyone, and therefore you sympathize and empathize with the people. But when it comes to elections and voting and choosing between two political parties, you need to put your cards on the table to indicate to people that yes, in the midst of all the difficulties, this is what you have been able to do to reduce the burdens and the sufferings of the people. No one is saying today things are tough because yesterday or during Muhammad's times things were easy. No government has been described as a government that came without hardship. Kwame Nkrumah's time, there was hardship, and that is why even when he was overthrown, people were jubilating. But years after, people think his time was good. You understand? Kufuor's time, there were hardships. Rawlings's time, there were hardships. You understand? Muhammad's time. So any government that comes...
But it does appear that the hardships we've seen now are quite unprecedented.
How do you measure that?
Of course, the state of hopelessness. The number of people who are ready and eager or willing to travel out of the country, no matter the country, once it's not Ghana, they are ready to go to work, etc. That number appears to be growing. And the number of people who come up to you asking you for money, even as small as 10 cedis, 20 cedis, to buy food, that has increased. And you could see from the faces of people that things are really tough. Hopelessness appears to be the expression on people's faces. So it's quite unprecedented. I don't know if that has come up in
to be the highest level of dishonesty, if anybody says that
the hopelessness or hardship is unprecedented.
The highest level of dishonesty,
really?
If anybody says that. Has there been any time in this country that you go to Kotoka International Airport and there's an empty plane there?
No, we're looking at the volumes.
No. So how do you measure the volumes?
No, we see quite a lot more people.
When people are traveling, 10, 15 years ago, I didn't have the capacity to travel 3 times in a month. Today, I have the capacity to travel 3 times in a month and come back because I have something useful doing. It's not everybody who is traveling that is going to domicile. People go and come in.
No, but of course, I'm not referring to people like
no, I'm not using me as me. I'm using that as a
we're talking about young people who have no opportunities and so on.
How do you measure that? That's quite dishonest if people say that. You understand? At any point in time, why do people travel? People travel for different reasons. Some are going to school, some are going to do business. 10 years ago, how many Ghanaians used to travel to Dubai? Today, multiples of people go to Dubai. Why do they go to Dubai? They don't go there to live. They go for holidays, they go to do shopping, they go to do trade and come back. So you cannot say that the fact that you go to the airports and people are moving in droves, traveling, it's an indication of hopelessness. You understand? You rather have to look at it, even in the positive side. Because today people are doing cross-border trade more than it used to be in the past. Okay? Today there is ECOWAS, African Continental Free Trade, easy movement of goods and services, human beings, unlike before. There are no trade barriers as it used to be. Ghanaian young people are able to move to Nigeria. Nigerians are coming here, traveling now, doing business and trade. They don't go there to live there. Others also go to live in other countries. So it will be the greatest level of dishonesty. And in fact, lack of proper education for anybody to say that because people are traveling more is an indication of hopelessness.
Yes,
I don't buy into
that. Yes, I don't think it's about traveling necessarily.
That is what you are saying.
But traveling for greener pastures.
No, how do you
young people traveling, leaving the country?
That is not a problem.
For greener pastures because they lack opportunities.
Listen.
So I'm not talking about people who go to Dubai to do business.
I have a problem with you limiting the purpose of traveling to a problem of hopelessness. That is not correct. Different people have different reasons why they travel. And in the case, there's nothing wrong. If I live in Accra and I think that going to live in Sunyani will better my lot, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with proper and genuine migration. You understand? What is important is that we need to look at how we make situations better for people, whether they are traveling or they are living in the country. We should not just say because you go to the... I saw pictures of people taking pictures at the airport to say that so many people are traveling, so the country... Then what would you say about Heathrow and London? What is the busiest airport in the world? Is that not Heathrow? People are traveling in and out. Is that to say that the UK economy is bad? What other busy airports do you have? JFK, Dallas, Washington. So you go to Dallas, Washington, and people are traveling so many times. You say, American economy is collapsing. There's hopelessness. I mean, I'm
surprised about the way you're construing.
No. That is the angle you are going, and I don't expect that to happen because you need to do proper.
And I'm saying that, of course, the Dubai, Heathrow, yes, people travel for business.
So why do you say that when you go to the airport, Ghana people are traveling?
The point really is that
it's hopelessness.
There are a lot of people traveling this day and are willing to travel because they don't find the country providing them with opportunities.
Look, the genuine thing you need to talk about is that there are people traveling, some people traveling because they may have better options elsewhere. That is why they travel. They are not traveling because they think, in any case, where did they make the resources to travel? You understand? But when you generalize it to say that there's hopelessness, people are traveling because they have lost hope in government, it's not right.
No, I mean, maybe that's how you that's how you.
That is how you put it.
There's seeming
no.
hopelessness.
That's how you put it.
But you know, let's just make progress. So now the campaign of Dr. Bawumia is selected. Matthew Opoku Prempeh party accepted it, etc. What is next for Dr. Bawumia in respect of his campaign to capture?
The vice president is continuing his campaign next week. The second phase of the campaign, he's done with the first phase of the campaign, which was a regional tour, touching base in each region, on average a day in a region. Now he's done that. He's nominated his running mate. Our manifesto is close to completion. In fact, it's at the reading stage. The next stage is next week. The vice president is hitting the grounds. He's moving for his second phase of the campaign, which is the constituency tour. This time around, he's going to spend more time with the people at the local level, at the constituency level. And so it's not just going to be at the regional level. He's moving to the constituency level. And I'm sure once the running mate is outdoored somewhere next week in Kumasi, he will also take another level and then move not together with a candidate, but on a different stretch, also campaigning. The whole idea is to engage the Ghanaian people. Let the Ghanaian people know what this government has done. Of course, the luck we have is that we are competing mainly with an opposition party and an opposition presidential candidate who has had the opportunity to lead this country before. John Mahama has been president before. Professor Nana Akufo-Addo has been education minister before. We have Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh also as our running mate who has been education minister before. We have Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia who has been vice president before. John Mahama who has been vice president before. John Mahama who has been president before. Let each of them put their cards on the table. Let us subject their reign and the period of governance and their leadership to scrutiny. Let us find out which of them did what Ghanaians want or wanted during their time. Which of them has what it takes to move Ghana to the next level in terms of our future. This is the kind of campaign we want to raise in this country. It's not going to be a campaign on conjectures and all of that. Tell us what you did as Vice President John Mahama. Tell us what you have done or what you did as Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia. Let us judge the two of you based on your track record and based on what you say you will do further. Of course, we will judge what you say you will do for us on account of what you did in the past. Put your cards on the table. Let us judge you based on your track record as education minister in the past. Put your cards on the table as Matthew Poku Prempeh. Let's judge you on your track record as education minister or minister in this country. And let us see the education minister who got the opportunity and teachers taught for 3 years, 5 years, and only paid them 3 months. As against the education minister who got the opportunity and teachers were paid their salaries in full. Let us judge the education minister who got the opportunity and even common chalk was a problem Ghanaians didn't have. As against the education minister who even made an attempt to take away the use of chalk in our classrooms and use whiteboard and whiteboard markers, and let's see which one of them is most modern and expensive, and whether or not today Ghanaian schools are lacking whiteboard markers. Let us judge your reign as education minister who scrapped teacher trainee allowance and the education minister who reinstituted teacher trainee allowance.
Which you are not really paying because that is in arrears.
You see, that may be true. But I prefer to be paid an arrears than have nothing at all.
No, but the point is, if government doesn't have the money to pay and there's an alternative, there's another way.
What is the alternative?
Because we understand that there was.
So what was the alternative loan, that was provided?
There was a loan alternative.
What was it? Was it provided?
No, because we understand that the loan was provided.
There was no loan provided.
No, that was a proposition.
No,
that they're taking it away.
We are talking about actuals. We are not talking about propositions.
Yes, so they were taking it away.
I'm coming.
And introducing
what I'm saying is that. Till today, Professor Nana Opoku-Agyeman scrapped teacher training allowance without any alternative. Under Matthew Poku Prempeh, teacher training allowance was instituted.
Restored.
Okay, reinstituted, restored. And they are paid. Okay?
Albeit in arrears.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Even Citi FM, sometimes you have salary arrears. There's nothing wrong with that. And so far as it comes, it is what is most important.
But my producers are saying no, there's nothing like salary arrears.
I know. We have friends who have worked here before. We are not subject to Citi FM to scrutiny.
That's on the lighter side.
So what is important is that we have an education minister who is an educationist herself and yet scrapped teacher trainee allowance without any sympathy. Somebody came, he's not an educationist, but saw the need to restore that, and it was restored. We had an education minister who scrapped nursing training allowance. We had an education minister who restored it. We have an education minister who couldn't implement free SHS. We have an education minister who
introduced a progressively free SHS.
I am not aware of a free SHS policy that was implemented by the NDC. I am not aware.
There was a progressively free.
I am not aware. And I don't think there is any Ghanaian, truthfully, who is aware of a free SHS policy that was introduced by the NDC.
But the argument, of course,
indeed.
The NDC was here yesterday, and they made a point that even the way you introduced it was also progressively free.
Yes,
so there was the Form 1 you started
with. It is not about their argument.
But at the time, there were Form 2s and Form 3s who were paying fees. So you started from Form 1 and you progressed it to the end.
It's not about what they say,
but it's about what it was, which is what it is.
It's not about what they say as against what I say. It is about what Ghanaians are experiencing.
Yes, so at the time, Form 2 and Form 3 were paying fees.
Please, it is about what Ghanaians are experiencing. Does any Ghanaian in his right senses believe the NDC implemented free senior high school in this country? Okay, so we have that at the Matopoku Prempe. And it is run smoothly, and there's no problem with it. Okay? And that is the kind of leadership that we are talking about. So these are the things that we have to present to people. Okay? These are two leaders. Let us judge them based on what they have done before.
Very well.
To believe or otherwise what they are saying they will do.
Very well. I know that turn off people will not forgive me if we don't say anything about turn off. How is the campaign going on the ground? It appears it's a strong, a safe seat for the MPP. But how is the campaign going on the ground?
I don't believe in safe seats. Okay, I believe in hard work. And I believe in being there for the people. That is what I'm trying to do. And I thank God so much that I have a community that also believe in good causes. And they are supporting the good cause. And I only pray to God that I get the strength and the courage and the resources to do what I'm doing. The campaign has been fantastic. It has been smooth, albeit with the challenges. But, we're soldiering on. And I know at the end of the day, victory will come. But we want the victory to come.
You want the victory to be 100%?
Yeah. Not 100%. No, I'm very honest.
What I mean is the victory should be on both sides. For the presidency and
exactly. I want that. Turn enough people, once you vote for me, you vote for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. That is it. It is when the father is there, the son is there. Then your prayers are answered. Your prayers.
But how are you combining your role in the office of the vice president, and PC-ship, parliamentary candidate?
Well,
how are you doing that?
I've been multitasking. That's my life. When I was a PhD student, I was at the same time a lecturer. You understand? So I've learned how to multitask, and so that's not a problem for me. And there's a perfect arrangement in my office as to how I balance it. You wouldn't even see it.
I see.
Yeah, you wouldn't even see it.
Your final words?
Yeah, my final words is that Ghana, we've presented to you one of the vibrant, young, talented minds in the country. A gentleman who has seen what it takes to be there for the people, especially the young people of this country. Napo is the people's man. He is the man that stands for people. His benevolence level and his level of thoughts, understanding of issues in this country, and his commitment and hard work is something that I appreciate so much. We have two workaholics in Mahmoud Bawumia and Matopoku Prempe. And these are young people who are in tune to the contemporary trends, and they know what time it is to do what for the young people of this country, to their benefit and the benefit of society.
Very well.
I think we have to give them a chance. For once, for Ghana to say that we have these two gang of young, talented minds that have been granted the opportunity to lead the country. Let us see what they bring to the table. Their track record is a testament to the fact that they can do it.
Very well. So that was Dr. Gideon Boaku, spokesperson for the Vice President and flag bearer of the New Patriotic Party, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, also parliamentary candidate for the Tano North constituency. He's been my guest tonight on Point Blank. That's how we conclude today's edition of the program. Show produced by Nana Kobna Wilson, Beverly London, and Sami Wiafe. Production assistance by Daniel Squashi. Social media support by Edwin Kwakofi. Earlier you heard Akosi Ochiri. My name is Selom Adonu. Have a good evening.